Hey Charles, how you doing? Okay, I've got your post up here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, you've got some good sketches here, and I'm fine with you separating these into two pages. That's just fine. I think that you've got some good ideas here. I think the main thing is that you have remembered that we're not just arbitrarily sketching, rather we're sketching with intent, and that intent is based on the research we've already done, and that research we've already done culminates in the word lists that we have assigned to our clients. So showing this connection between your sketch and the word list shows a connection between your sketch and your client, meaning that you are sketching with the intent of uh, developing meaning based on the visual posture of your sketches and how that meaning ties to your client. So that's good. What you're not doing is arbitrarily sketching, and that's the name of the game here. What we don't want to do at this point, or at any point in the design process, is to arbitrarily make decisions that don't have any connection to the client. So, you can imagine that if I were to see a set of sketches that didn't have the words from the word list labeled, then I would be confronted with the situation of saying, okay, are these arbitrary sketches? By labeling them, and again, I'm going to say this again, I said it last week, there is no right or wrong here, okay? Your depiction of technical in your word mark is, there's no right or wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, there's some that are effective and some that are more effective than others. But as far as right or wrong, there are none. It's just a matter of kind of keeping your thought process corralled into what you've developed already and how we can keep that thought process connected conceptually with the data that we've extracted from our research on our client. Okay, hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sketches. There's some that are going to work, some that definitely won't. Okay, there's some that you'll need to replace in this specific set of sketches for your final task submission at the end of the week. This right here, this is a monogram. This is not a word mark, so that has to be replaced. And I think there's one down here. This is a monogram also, so that has to be replaced. So those two will have to be replaced with word marks. And just to be sure, make sure you go through the course materials understanding the difference between monograms, word marks, and logo marks. Okay, I would stay away from things like this, stacking letters, because it's difficult to read. And as a client, I would say I want it to be depicted in the most realistic, relevant, and direct way as possible, as opposed to someone having to look and try to have to piece things together to see what it says. Stacking type rarely works in the typographic world, and more rarely works in logo. So I would definitely recommend not stacking type, as we see here, and that's it. Okay. As far as your direction moving forward, I'm going to leave that up to you. I think you've got some really good thought process going on here, and I think for learning's sake, it's the best thing to do here is to say, let's go ahead and you go ahead and take a look. Now, I will say that there are a few are quite effective. I think that's effective, very much so. I think this is great right here. I think the simplicity of this is really speaks volumes. That's a good one right there with the little kind of wireless signal. That's a great one. We see the same thing to a lesser degree over here. I think this one's a little more effective. Why? Because it's more subtle. It's just a little more subtle. So, all right. So those are my comments. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And then, of course, go ahead and take a listen to my comments. Go through some of the other video critiques. Listen to those comments because they will apply to your work. I think it's always important that students listen to each other's critiques because they're pertinent to your own work. All right. So go through those, really think about what I'm saying, think about how it ties to the project, and then use that in your decision to move forward in your digital rendering of Guardian Network Security word mark. All right. Great job. Thank you very much. Any questions, please let me know. All right. Thanks, Charles.